What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Yes, we're in shirt and tie, wearing a blue tie, making the right choices. But we're here for the Manchester City match analysis with the Carabao Cup 4th round match and the home match against Southampton. So we're here to analyse the match, basically. So if you're interested, make sure you, like always, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you press that red button, subscribe, press the bell, put your push notifications on. Make sure also you can check out my social media links in the description below and popping up on screen for my Twitter and Instagram if you want to go and follow me on there. And don't forget also, leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this video and leave your thoughts in the comments below from this game. So, surprising lineup from Manchester City, strong as expected, but going with Aguero and Jesus together. It was a little bit of an odd team, really. Midfielder Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez, Phil Foden, and also Tommy Doyle making his debut for Manchester City. Well done to him. It looked like a 4-3-3 for me. You know, like a Sergio Aguero going up front alongside Gabriel Jesus and possibly Riyad Mahrez, something like that. And then Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, and Doyle making up the middle. That's kind of like what we was getting at here. But strong team from Manchester City. So Eric Garcia start too. Obviously Claudio Bravo in net. Nicolas Otamendi, Kyle Walker, Angelino all starting too for Southampton. McCarthy was in net for them, as expected, with Gunn missing out. Buffon started along with Long, but surprisingly no Che Adams starting, which was surprising, as Højbjerg ended up being the captain for Southampton into this game. So, first half, 20 minutes in, bit of a slow start to the game, but 20 minutes in, Bernardo Silva managed to put a ball into the box, and there was Nicolas Otamendi to meet the ball, decent header into the back of the net, putting Manchester City ahead. Good for Otamendi, I say. Then Aguero made it 2-0 on 38 minutes after a nice but rather easy run, really, from Kyle Walker. Simply just pulls it back. I think Aguero's making his 350th appearance. Just taps it into the back of the net. Job done, really. Half-time, 2-0 Manchester City. Playing fine, making lots of changes and playing okay. That's what we like to see. Doyle looked very settled in the Manchester City side, which is always good to see, because City's got so much quality. When you bring in 1 or 2 or 3 youngsters, they kind of just look comfortable and confident, which is really good to see. Honestly, I'd like to see City do it more, not just in Carabao Cup games, but in more games. I'm not just speaking like Cup games, I'm speaking like in Premier League games, particularly on substitute appearances and players and stuff. There's no reason why more youngsters can't be involved with Manchester City, particularly with the injury crisis that we've got going on at the moment, particularly at the back. There's no reason why the players like Garcia, who again look comfortable in this game, shouldn't be making more appearances for Manchester City. In my opinion, Southampton probably happy at 2-0. I mean, losing 9-0 in your last game, losing 2-0 at half-time against Manchester City in the next, you probably take that away from home too. Anyway, second half, 56 minutes in, 3-0 Manchester City. Sergio Aguero had 2, ended up getting there ahead of the goalkeeper McCarthy and putting it into the back of the net. Then on 75 minutes, Southampton managed to pull a goal back after Stevens managed to dominate Angelino in the air and nodding it into the back of the net. Disappointing to concede, but gives us something to improve on into the next game, which coincidentally is also at home against Southampton again. Angelino did pick up an injury, which isn't good. Did look like a hamstring injury. Not too sure how serious that is. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that isn't too serious. I mean, I've not had a chance to have a full look to see how serious it is. So go and check me out on Twitter or something. I'll probably tweet more about that. But it just end up putting more onto my point that I was making before, that we've got good class young players that really should be making more appearances for Manchester City. I mean, they show it time and time and time again against Premier League opposition. Now in the Carabao Cup, that these players like Garcia, like Harwood Bellis when he's featured for City, these players are ready and should be getting utilised by Manchester City, particularly when we've got this injury crisis going on. But 3-1, job done really for Manchester City into the quarterfinals too. Always nice to see. Going to check the stats now. City ended up having 77% possession to Southampton's 23%. 19 shots for City, 9 on target, 3 goals. That's fine. Southampton 5 shots, 2 on target, 1 goal. Like I said, disappointed on set play. Set play is a weakness of Manchester City's. Southampton have got something to work on now on Saturday, which concerns me. They're going to be targeting corners and free kicks, so City really do need to work on that in training. Obviously, a lot of our first team players have had a rest for a week, so there's no excuse for us not to work on that, if you get where I'm coming from. 821 passes, 90% pass completion rate. That is excellent for the amount of passes that we've had. 250 from Southampton at a pass completion rate of 69%, which isn't too bad. 14 key passes compared to Southampton's 4. 3 clear-cut chances for City. 3 goals. We ended up having more corners, more recoveries. In terms of tackles, Southampton dominated the defensive stats. More tackles, more interceptions, more blocks, and more clearances, more headed clearances. And coincidentally, both teams ended up connecting with half of their headed clearances, which I find interesting. Considering it's a weakness of City's, we don't seem to do too bad, but when we are punished for it, we're punished for it, if you get where I'm coming from. So, in terms of the game, my JSGC man of the match goes to Tommy Doyle. Looked very settled, making his debut for Manchester City. Had a good game, in my opinion. Phil Foden looked lively. Garcia as calm as ever. Nice to see Bernard coming off the bench too. Or is it Bernard or Bernardi, however you say his name? Nice to see him coming off the bench and making an appearance too for Manchester City. Extremely unlucky with Angelino's injury that Ian Pervade didn't end up coming on to, because he was set to come on, but with Angelino picking up that injury, he wasn't able to, and City ended up just rejigging at the back instead. Like I said, hoping he's okay. Did look like a hamstring injury, which is normally weak, so hopefully I'm wrong and he is back sooner rather than later. Southampton looked better second half. They've got something to work for going into the match at the Etihad on Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff. We'll have a preview up for that, by the way, probably tomorrow sometime, to make sure you stay tuned for that. But Southampton's got something to work for. They look better in the second half. They've lost 9-0 in the last game at home, to lose 3-1 to Manchester City. Didn't embarrass themselves, can hold their heads up, held their heads up high from this game. The game on Saturday is going to be the one that matters, though. It's going to be a lot different. City's got a full-strength team out. Southampton's got something to work for. Be an interesting game. See how it goes. But for this match, typical Carabao Cup, really. We're into the quarterfinals. It's job done. My opinion, I'll have anyone, literally anyone, as long as it's at the Etihad Stadium, because it's a trophy that some people disrespect, but it's a trophy at the end of the day. And if you want to be a winner, you got to target to win everything, not just selected things. So, job done, my conclusion. Preview up tomorrow for the Southampton game. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, put your push notifications on. Make sure you go and check out my social media links in the description below and popping up on screen for my Twitter and Instagram. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all again tomorrow for that preview for the Southampton game at home again. Repeating ourselves, basically. So, I'll see you all again for the next video. So, it's been JSGC, and we'll have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.